Welcome back to another great episode of Care for Boys. Today we have Brett over there on that side with Joe.
Hey.
And we also have Gucci with us right here.
Hey.
I wanted to know because, like, usually when you meet somebody that's like half Asian, half something else, you always wonder if they had the kind of strict parenting that like we grew up with, having like double Asian oppression. But like for you, did you have like the strict style of like how overbearing and how mean was your mom? Being the Japanese mom, you know?
I think I had like the classic, like no sleepovers with friends. Like I had to go straight from school to home, get my work done, all of that. But then the older I got, the more clever and cunning I got. So like then I figured out like how to sneak out of the house without anybody knowing, and which is tough because we grew up in a 1-bedroom apartment, so somebody knew. Somebody knew. But like, I wouldn't say like a tiger mom. Like I didn't do Kumon or anything like that. Like,
Damn.
Yeah. My mom could not afford that. So it was really like what she could afford, and her, she came down as hard as she possibly could with the time she had.
What was your punishments for, let's say, if she did catch you sneaking?
She would beat my dog ass. She would whoop my ass with whatever was around, whatever
like,
she had.
You're around the room type of shit.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like,
belts, cords, spoons.
Surge protector.
Surge protector. That's when I really fucked up. Not the 12 outlet one, no.
Yeah, the 12 outlet.
Not the Amazon one.
I remember, this is when I knew, I was like, oh, I know my mom is like she's plugged in, right? Because I remember this time, I was like in the 7th grade. Oh shit, that's me, my bad, y'all. I'm sorry.
Good.
I'm like, who the fuck's got their phone on?
Stop the talking shit.
My bad. That's the thing. Yo, let me tell you, this was a time before cell phones, though. So this was a time before cell phones, and I met up with all my friends at a haunted house. How my mom knew I was there, I don't know. Like I snuck, cause she was off to work, so I was like, oh, she's not gonna be back until like 11 p.m. She got off early. This was like after Halloween, like maybe the day after Halloween, and I never told my mom anything about what was happening in my life. But she drove up in the green Volkswagen, not a hatchback. What's it called? The station wagon we had growing up. This piece of shit, and I knew that car was our car. I had a great time with my friends, right? First time ever at a haunted house. So scary. I walk out, and when I tell you that was the scariest shit I'd seen, because my mom is like this outside of the station wagon. And how she knew I was there, I could not fucking tell you. And this is what she told me. She slapped me around a little bit, got in the car. I was
in front of your friends?
Yeah.
Oh no.
She didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, she's one of those.
So we're driving home, and I was more shocked at how she found me. So I was like, Mom, how did you know where I was? She said, I'm sorry, hold on. She goes, she's pissed. Jesus told me.
He must have told
What? I said, whoa, that's real.
Jesus had told me.
Jesus told me.
How else?
Oh my God. How else?
She never gave you the real reason how she found you?
That's how she told. That's how it happened.
Jesus.
Did you ever ask her again?
No.
Yo, that's so mysterious.
Because it's not a place that's like part of her routes or errands or anything. Right?
No, and it's not a place. It was at a firehouse. It's not a place that I went often, ever. Right? It was so crazy I can understand, like, she's, me and my brother were all she had, right? So she was probably coming from a place of fear. She comes home and her kids are not there. Her, like, underage children are not home. What the fuck? And she has no idea. We have no cell phone. She can't get in contact with us. So I can imagine, like, going through those emotions at the time, but then her seeing me and whooping my ass. That tells you a different story as a kid. You're like, do you hate me?
How did she find you? Do you have a hunch on how she could have possibly, like, located you?
Jesus told her.
You gotta ask.
You have to ask her.
Yeah, like
you gotta see what she said.
Yeah, I have
She was
to.
probably driving for a while.
That's pretty funny. She just fucking goes.
She found a church right next to the fire station.
Damn. So, like, I guess when we hear Bart's stories of him growing up with his mom, a lot of his punishments are so Buddhist-based and, like, religious-based. Did you have any, like, religious connotation type of rules or punishments that you had to deal with that were, you know, Jesus-driven?
Would, like, nail us to a cross? No, I think because, like, the Bible encourages you to beat your kids. So that's, I think that's the main one. Yeah.
What about, like, any, like, superstitious beliefs that you had to adhere to because your mom believes it?
Oh my God, I remember, actually, I do tell a joke about it, but I remember my mom telling me that we're not allowed to whistle at night because it can call spirits into your home.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Is it Japanese?
No, I don't think it's particularly Japanese,
No.
but she's who told me, so I thought it was a Japanese.
Just any shady behavior at night, Asians don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do a lot of
She's
stuff.
like, don't use the knife at night.
Asians too, though.
Use the knife at night?
That's what she would say.
I've had people at shows like Latinos, some Latinos, some like Native American people. They have similar things. So
That was like, don't open the umbrella inside the house.
Yeah, that's one. That's one.
Yeah.
There's that one.
Like,
Is that Asian
why?
or is that like
I don't know. Did you guys open umbrellas inside the house or no?
I ain't never heard nothing like that.
Really? So it is an Asian thing.
Don't ride the horse in the house.
Don't ride in the steers at night.
Don't laugh with your brother.
Your brother after 12 p.m.
Shut down. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So different.
I remember saying that to my babysitter. My babysitter roasting the shit out of me. They were
About
young.
the whistling?
Yeah. They're like, that's not fucking true. Oh, my mom said it. Yeah. I can't whistle.
Did you ever get caught whistling at night?
No, they were
like,
whistling like while they were driving, and I was like, "You can't do that because there are gonna be spirits." And they were like, "No, you idiot! That's not true."
What about growing up in a Pentecostal church? What was that?
Oh my God, the dramatics. It's so dramatic.
It's drama, yeah.
Yeah, it's theater every single week.
It's improv.
Oh man, yeah, that though. Yeah, it's music. There's like praise and worship. Most of the service was music, really. It's very musical growing up in a Black Pentecostal church, like, you know, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled. Yes, God. Like, that's the church that I went to. And for whatever reason, my mom only went to mega churches with only like celebrity pastors. So, yeah. So,
They got good ads, yeah.
yeah.
Was she always like the only Japanese person in the Black church?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
That's the best part, probably.
Yeah.
You know what? We find out she's actually black, so
That
the whole
is
time she
true.
goes, I need to be with my people.
I need to be with my
Yeah.
people.
That probably is the best church to go to,
Yeah.
though, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Pentecostal Black?
I think so.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, that'd be the one I go to.
I've been to Japanese churches. I've
They're
been to white
boring.
churches. Yeah.
Pretty boring, huh?
Boring. Boo.
Japanese churches is nothing but like
Who on Japanese church?
Japanese churches is you walk in, it's like, how do I make you suffer more by giving you way more rules and fearmonger you into going to heaven? That's all it is. It's, oh, you fucked up here, you fucked up there. I already had to deal with that 5 days a week. There's no music. Well, there is, but you're like singing hymns that are like from 1920.
Yeah.
It's like Great Depression era shit.
Victorian era.
It's like old school hymns
Yeah.
with a pipe ass organ and shit. Like Count Dracula lives
That
there,
maroon
dude.
hymnal book?
Yeah.
It's a heavy book,
Like
too.
500 pages?
Lovely.
Pretty hard.
Yeah.
What about like, so in that church, like we were talking about, they were doing the speaking in tongues and stuff?
Yes.
You never achieved that power?
I never achieved it. No.
You never got to that level, huh?
No, man, I never reached the level 10.
Level 10.
You gotta go back. You gotta find one out here.
Get more Holy Ghost.
Continue your studies.
That as a kid, like growing up, seeing all that.
I guess because I was around it my entire life, it was normal.
Oh, it's
and
just
then
very
I
normal.
find out later that it's not normal. That's not everybody's upbringing. I was like, oh, really? Like when people said that they go to church, I was like, oh yeah, you know, when you speak in tongues and stuff, and they're like, we don't do that. I'm like, what? That's good.
We went to an offshoot one too.
Yeah.
What level are you on then?
What level you on? Yeah, it was, you know, I was like also a really rebellious kid. Like I think the idea of God, I think if any, I don't really like identify with a religion now.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that there is God because if you look at all the religions, they're all the fucking same, really. Do I believe in Jesus Christ? Yes, I do. But I think what religion does to people is like it gives them this weird complex that they think that all of a sudden they're better. And so I would like get in fights with the elders at the church a lot. It was just like 15, 16-year-old me. Like my biggest ops at the time were 70-year-old women.
Wow.
Yeah.
Biggest ops.
How did they respond to you questioning stuff? Hey, what's up guys? Just in case you have seen some of these lovely pieces on some of our gentlemen here, these awesome jade pendants, or you may have seen the recent JK adventure where we went to Jade Jewelers, just remember that the sale is on now. If you want to visit thejadejewelers.co, you can even find some of the stuff that our guys have had, and way more. The selection is huge, so make sure to visit the Jade Jewelers and check out what they've got.
Check it out.
Let's go.
They just thought I was really disrespectful.
Oh, they're just being rude?
Yeah.
They wouldn't give you like real answers for the things you were
Right.
asking, right?
Exactly. Because I was really inquisitive. I wanted to know answers, and like
Yeah.
nobody was giving me answers. And I think I was the way that I was because in my household, my mom, although she was the authoritative figure, like we were still kind of on the same level, if you will. Like we were, like I said, we were growing up with each
growing up
other,
together,
right?
yeah.
So my idea of authority was really skewed at that age.
Right.
Yeah.
What
I'm
was
like,
the biggest thing you got in trouble for with her though?
with my mom?
Yeah.
The biggest thing I've gotten in trouble with her.
Did you ever get like, did you ever get busted for like doing something legal and she had to come pick you up? Anything like that? Or like,
Oh, I've
it
had
was,
a
like,
few
real
things.
bad?
Oh, I think like, oh yeah, maybe fighting once. I did fight. Yeah, I had
In
a
school?
fight. Yeah, and I was 15 years old, and 15 or 16. I can't remember.
This is in New York?
This is in New York. Yeah, this is in high school, and it was like the only fight I've ever been in.
What was it about?
It was some girl. There was a guy that liked her, but he liked me, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. And she just, I really didn't. I did not care. And but she was like, kept talking shit. I said, okay, well, you want to talk shit? Like, let's do something about it. So she waited for me Friday. This was a Friday after school, but I was like, my outfit is too fly. I can't fight you today. So I was like, nah. She waited with like a group of her friends. So I was like, nah. I'll see you Monday on my terms, because now I see you about it, right? So over the weekend, I bought myself Vaseline and a do-rag, and I came.
My fighting fit.
Yeah, I came in a
10
white
armor.
t-shirt and some blue jeans and some Timbs, and I waited for her after school. I was ready. Yes.
Was the Vaseline for the slip?
Yes.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
slip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, that's smart though, dude.
Exactly.
Smart.
Exactly. And then like I pressed her. I was like, oh, so you wanted to wait for me after school? What's good? And she was just, at that point she was like backing down, and I was like, no.
I didn't know you could bring Vaseline.
I know you're gonna wear Tim's.
Why are you so shiny? Why are you so shiny?
Yeah, I was like, I'll let you get first hit. She hit me. Yeah, she hit me, and I was like, I immediately knew I was gonna whoop her ass, because the only person I've been fighting at that
Soft hit.
point was my brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
good training.
Yeah, good training. Yeah, and he wasn't letting up on me too.
Yeah.
Like we've had some pretty nasty fights.
Like
too.
fist fights?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the first hit you let her have was on your face?
Yeah, I think she like slapped me. The poor girl. She had no idea what she was walking into.
Amateur.
So how'd you hit her? How'd you fuck her ass up?
It's just whop! Yeah. And she was like really fair, so she turned black and blue so quick. So I think it looked like I did more damage than I actually did.
Oh.
Yeah, the poor baby. She didn't deserve that.
Poor baby. So did you guys figure it out? Did you guys figure out your love triangle afterwards? Did you guys like work it out?
Yo, her parents actually tried to press charges on me.
Really?
Yeah, they
So
did.
did you get with them just to spite her?
Yeah, what?
Did you get with them just to spite her?
No, he was
You
annoying.
didn't even care about that.
No, I
at
didn't
all.
care. I didn't care about that at all. But like, I had
Dang.
street cred now at that point. I was like in 10th grade. I was like, yeah. I'm
And so
bad.
they had to call your mom, right?
Yeah. So we had to go to the police station and like
The
when
police
they
station?
Yeah, they like tried
It's
to
that
press.
serious.
Yeah, they expunged my record, but
Oh,
yeah, I did
good.
probation at my church. Yeah. But like they mapped it out, the way the location of the fight didn't make sense for her story, because it looks like she went out of her way to fight me. So that's why they forgave.
Wow. So you're just defending yourself, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom take it, she whoop her ass at home.
Yeah. What was her first reaction?
I think she was just really disappointed. She called my older brother, my oldest brother, who now has passed, but he was like the closest thing to a father figure at that time. She's like, I need you to talk to her. I don't know what to do with her anymore. That was like part where she broke down. She's like, gotta go to jail. I created the monster.
For real.
That's your mom.
Yo, I really feel like we all had the same mom, low-key. Sometimes these stories, I'm like, did we have the same upbringing?
So you have to do community service at the church?
Yeah, yeah.
You have to do like hours, right? And,
yeah, I
like,
had
Dunn?
to clean windows and toilets and shit, yeah.
That's tight that you were able to do it for your church, though.
Yeah. So I would just hang out with the old black dudes at the church and just crack jokes. Like, it was
Be like,
lit.
hey, you beat her ass, huh?
Leveled up for your comedy game.
I'm
too.
like 15 years old. Yeah, I'm doing time.
Wow.
That's pretty tight. That's cool. So your mom didn't add any other punishment on top of like what you already had to deal with?
No, because we didn't even have much, so she couldn't take anything away. So it was just, it was at that point, I think she had had enough of me. Because that's around the time that her and my relationship started to get really rocky. Like, it was like we were really butting heads. Yeah. I don't know if everybody has that story, but like for me, it was really tough. Like at that point, we're like throwing shit. Like it was like a bad relationship for a while.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was body slamming his mom, I think, around the same time.
What?
She had it coming though.
Yeah, I forgot what the incident was, but it was my mom. She came at me with like the Chinese cleaver, the one that they chop ducks in.
Oh my
like,
god, the big square one.
Yeah, the big one. She came at me. I was like 15, so roughly around that age. She came at me, and then I was like, "What the fuck, bitch? You crazy?" So I was like, I ducked, I picked her up, and then I slammed her on the couch, and then I walked out. And then, she was in her robe. She had like face cream on. My friend came and picked her up. And then I came back home at 2 a.m. and my mom was sitting on the front lawn like this, like cross-legged in the same robe, going.
Yo.
And then my homies were like, "Yo, your mom's tripping." I'm like, "I know, she'd be like that every day."
Literally, the dramatics. They're so dramatic. My mom will, like, I don't know, we could be talking about some regular shit. Like, oh, mom, I'm sorry, I couldn't, like, go pick up your dry cleaning. You don't love me, I'm going to kill myself. How did we get here?
Acts of service. That's her love language. That's her love language. Disrespecting the acts of service.
Whoa, literally. And my best friend told me a story about.
Hey, TJ, you know how
Come on.
The threats of suicide be crazy.
That
It'd
would
be
happen
like,
often?
often, to this day.
I think that's a Japanese thing.
It's a very Japanese.
They're all kamikazes.
Yeah, literally, they're willing to end it at any minor.
My mom.
Crash out.
That was like the first go.
Extreme.
It's not even the last resort. It's the first go-to. It's the first thing. Yeah.
Like, guess I'll kill myself.
I don't want to find out.
What could be bigger than that?
World domination. I don't know.
Asian moms are really good at guilt tripping though.
Good as hell.
That's their number one fucking superpower, right?
Yeah.
The way my mom would always be like, "Why did I have these kids that do this to me? Huh? I get burned. I lost. You know how much blood I lost from you, and this is what you do to me."
Yeah. I give you everything. I give you my everything.
I'm like, fuck, I guess. Yeah.
What?
How much blood?
So my mom had a C-section, and she used to tell me like that after she got cut open, like she needed to pee and she couldn't even get up because she had all these crazy stitches, so she had to like crawl. And then like my grandpa came in. I was like, "Oh my god, my poor baby!" And I had to help her up to go just to use the restroom. She's like, "I did all that for you." And I was like, "No, you were just horny. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Put that on me, dude."
Yeah.
What a thing to hear from your kid.
She's like, "Nah, he's right. I was.
Dad just left it in.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And you happened to be ovulating."
It was a perfect circumstances.
Yeah. You have a 2-day window.
They put like this crazy burden on you. Like, "I did all this for you." I'm like, I don't even know what the hell is going on. It's like a fucking swimming sperm and shit.
You just chilling, man. You just happen to win the race.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with your mom now that you're on your own and stuff?
It's the same. I think it's still really turbulent. Yeah, like I try to keep it real copacetic. I just like learn how to be around her. She's not gonna change. My mom's 62 years old. Like, yeah, that's right. And she's not. I had to accept that this is who she is.
This is how it's gonna be.
And this is how it's gonna be. And I think because I also empathize with her story. I think I know so much about her. Like my mom is like didn't have a regular upbringing herself. She was also the result of an affair. So she has the last name, which is the last name I carry now, of a man who disowned her. Like literally wrote her a letter and was like, I'm not your father. I will never be a part of your life. She found that when she was like 8 years old. So she deals with like her own abandonment issues.
That's heavy, bro.
Yeah, so she would literally tell me stories of like, because her name is different than her mom, my grandma's name. Her last name is Saito, right? And so she enrolls her into school. She has a different last name, Komaguchi. And so they know, okay, she's born at a wedlock. So like the teachers would treat her so bad. And this is like back in the 60s and 70s. So they treat her bad. They threw books at her, apparently.
Damn.
She told me, I don't know.
Japanese people are rough, dude.
But they were, they would like really
Sounds
treat you like
Japan.
shit. Yeah, so like imagine that your entire life, right? So
You're gonna have some issues.
You're gonna have some issues, and their generation does not believe in therapy. So I just gotta accept her for who she is.
There might be hope. My mom changed in her 60s.
You think so? Yeah.
Just
My mom
depends on
ain't
how much she
changing
chills
at all.
out.
Yeah. You said what?
You said your mom recently started chilling out.
Her relapse is like 3 days though.
Yeah.
It'll be like we don't talk for 2 or 3 weeks. So she misses me, she softens up, and then we talk, and then she finds it, and we try to like work through some of the stuff that we had, and she's like, yeah, you know what, you're right, we changed. And then cool, we start talking again, and then the 3rd day always relapse back to her crazy ass self, and I'm like, okay, I need to take another 3-week break. And then softens up again. It's just the same.
You gotta figure out
It's
your
the same
dosage.
Yeah.
Same cycle.
Because I recently had a fight with her. I was a part of a pilot, and that dropped. And my mom called me. She goes, Tachi, what's this about, right? I said, oh, actually, do you remember the day that you dropped me off at set and you told me I was desperate and I didn't, I take any job that comes to me? You remember that day? Yeah, that's what that was. She goes, you just always thinking about the past.
That's what my mom does too.
They don't like being called out.
No, they don't like.
Why you gotta bring that shit up?
Yes.
So long ago.
She goes, she literally said, I make changes for no reason. She literally goes, I'm going to just kill myself. I said, oh my God. She goes, I'm standing in the middle of Vermont. And I said, I'm going to hang up. Goodbye.
There's a bus coming my way.
Does she think it's really
That's her go-to, huh?
It's the go-to every time.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the go-to for your parents.
I'm like, because we didn't work through it yet.
We didn't.
We're trying to work through it, and then as soon as it gets too uncomfortable,
They're like, oh, why you gotta bring that up?
change the subject or do whatever, I'm like,
That's
well, then it's
tough.
gonna keep coming back.
Come on, man, can we just bury that shit?
What about
I gave you
like?
peaches.
Does she think it's really cool that you're doing something for the Japanese community?
She's black, remember?
She's like, or is she like, yeah.
She abandoned the Japanese community years ago.
Yeah. Or is she like, why not the black?
No, I think she.
Today I'm an African.
I think recently she realized some of the feats I've taken on. Like I was an MC at the Japan Fair, the OC Fair, Japan Day Fest. Yeah, that was really cool to be able to do something like that. Because I think I didn't really grow up in a very Japanese community, but I did have a Japanese upbringing, so I have that as my identity.
Yeah.
But also not really feeling like a part of that community, just purely based on how I look. Nobody looks at me and like, oh, that's a Japanese woman. Never. So I think elements of that made me feel like disconnected with my identity. But the more I grow up and I'm like, I get to tell my story, it's like, oh yeah, this is my experience.
Do you speak Japanese?
A little bit. Like I speak like a child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you spoke to your mom in Japanese, like growing up?
My mom spoke to me in Japanese really because my mom and my dad did not get along and she needed someone to talk to. So that's how I know Japanese. But like I learned it from a parent speaking to a child. So that's like how I speak.
Right.
And that's not respectful. You can't do that to strangers.
It's like condescending.
Yeah. That she saw a flyer. My mom works at a Japanese company, and so the flyer went around. She goes, "This is you." My
that's so
coworker
cool.
told me.
That's how
She
she
was
saw
really,
it?
yeah, she was really excited. She felt like really proud. I was like,
That's so dope.
yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
that's cool.
Full
yeah.
circle.
Yeah, and I think like parts of us do want our parents' approval. I think you know
course, yeah.
for sure.
Not me, dude.
No matter how.
He wants it the most, obviously.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. Yeah, whatever.
I think that's dope that you're tapped in with the community out here because you have a more unique voice and more unique things to share.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more Asian Americans out here too, because like where I was growing up, if there were Asians, it would be like sprinkles of Filipino, but like really spread out, or like fresh off the boat Chinese immigrants. And I can't talk to them. They're my favorite immigrants.
You heard it here, folks. You guys.
My favorite guys.
Dope.
It'd be really funny. Like the Chinese immigrants will have their Chinese accent, but a New York accent on top of it. It's
That's
like
so tight.
lit.
That's so tight.
Yeah.
Use the swang.
Yeah. It's real cool.
That's tight. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing all that.
Yeah.
Aw,
That's
thank you guys.
It's dope.